Following a limited missile strike by Iran on a U.S. military installation in Qatar, an act of retaliation for the B-2 stealth bomber assaults on its nuclear facilities, Donald Trump declared that Israel and Iran had reached a complete and total ceasefire. However, the prospect of this ceasefire remains uncertain as hostilities persist. Iran's foreign minister announced that if Israel ceased its assaults by 4 a.m. local time in Tehran, Iran would also stand down its military actions. However, almost an hour past that set time, Israel's military alerted its citizens that missiles from Iran had been fired towards them, accompanied by the sound of sirens. Shortly thereafter, Israel reported that another wave of missiles from Iran was en route, advising the populace to seek shelter once again. While Israel did not promptly confirm any ceasefire agreement, there were no indications of Israeli attacks on Iran following the 4 a.m. deadline. Intense Israeli airstrikes persisted in Tehran and other urban areas right up until just before that hour. During the announcement of the ceasefire between Israel and Iran, Trump designated the ongoing conflict as the 12-day war. This term evokes memories of the 1967 Mideast War, often referred to as the Six-Day War, where Israel engaged in battles against a coalition of Arab nations, including Egypt, Jordan, and Syria. Is the conflict dubbed the 12-Day War by Trump drawing to a close, or are we merely experiencing a lull before yet another storm in the desert? Here's all you need to know. The label of U.S. President Trump's 12-day war resonates deeply within the Arab community, especially among Palestinians. During the conflict of 1967, Israel seized control of the West Bank and East Jerusalem from Jordan, the Gaza Strip, and the Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, and the Golan Heights from Syria. While Israel eventually returned the Sinai Peninsula to Egypt, it continues to maintain its grip on the remaining territories. According to various reports, Trump reached out personally to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to facilitate the ceasefire. Meanwhile, Vance, along with Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, engaged with Iranian officials through a mix of direct and indirect communications. The White House asserts that the B-2 airstrikes were crucial in influencing the ceasefire negotiations, with support from the Qatari government in brokering the agreement. The extent of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's involvement in the discussions remains uncertain. He previously stated on social media that he would not capitulate. Israeli officials maintained that they were not aiming to topple Iran's government, a nation they have regarded as their greatest adversary since the Islamic Revolution in 1979. However, the recent airstrikes occurred just hours after Trump brought up the idea of regime change, following America's entry into the conflict with a stealth bomber attack on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities. On social media, Trump posed the question: if the Iranian regime cannot make Iran great again, then what would prevent a regime change? Later, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt characterized Trump's remarks as merely raising a question. Prior to Trump's announcement of a ceasefire, several Israeli officials indicated that the Israel Defense Forces intended to reduce hostilities in the near future, contingent upon actions from Iran. Israel hopes that Iran will consent to a ceasefire and return to diplomatic discussions with the United States regarding its nuclear ambitions. Nonetheless, Israel is ready for the prospect of a prolonged low-intensity conflict or a phase of quiet for quiet, during which it would vigilantly observe Iranian movements and take action if any new dangers are detected.